Alright guys, so I got a bit of a problem here. Here's the YZ250. It's lying on her side, looking all lonely. Well, if I uncover this, you can see that the clutch is missing. You may ask, why is the clutch missing? Well, the clutch needs some work. And for a couple years now, the basket has been worn out on it. And the basket's notched pretty good. And these notches in the basket have stopped my clutch from disengaging properly, so it's really hard to shift it. It doesn't idle in gear because there's always that resistance and friction in the clutch because it's not letting loose like it should. So I'll show you what I'm doing to fix that. It's basically a temporary fix. It's nothing you do permanently. I'm doing this just till I can afford a new basket. A new basket's about $300 or so. The clutch discs and steel seem to look fine, so I'll keep them for now. But I'll show you these here. They're under Exhibit B here. See, there's what the clutch steel's riding there. And there's the pressure plate. And there's the clutch discs and the steels. If we pull this off here, see, you can see here's the clutch fibers, and these fibers still look okay. They're not too bad. The edges are worn a little bit. I don't know if you can see, like, there's a bit of a sharp edge right there where it rides in the basket, and so I will need new clutch plates, new clutch kit soon. But you know, just trying to make it through right now on the cheap side. So this is what you got to do. So let's go take a look at the basket and see what I'm doing to try to fix that. Okay, here's the basket here. You can see it's got the drive gears on the back there. And if you look at it, these are where the clutch plates ride. They ride in between these tangs in the basket. And if you look at these tanks, you can see all these grooves and notches. Now this is really bad. These grooves and notches don't allow the clutch plates to separate properly like they should. So when you're riding your bike and you squeeze your clutch, it's supposed to make the steels and the clutch fibers loose so they can wriggle around each other. And because these notches are in here, the clutch fibers don't want to separate. They just want to stay in their spot. And when they stay in their spot, the clutch never fully disengages properly. So you always get a sticky clutch, you get tough shifting, all kinds of problems. It's just really annoying. The bike always stalls when you step on the back brake without, you got to keep it revved up a little bit. So I'm fixing this the old school way. This is a file. And I'm taking the file and I'm going carefully along the edge of the tangs here, and I'm making sure to cut at the right angle, and I'm cutting those down. And you can see I've worked on this one a little bit. You can see it's a lot smoother compared to, say, this one. So that smoothness there will make my clutch ride nice and easy like it should. I gotta file all these down. The trade-off to filing these is there's going to be a little more play in the clutch, so it's going to be a little more sloppy. So this isn't something you want to have for a long term fix. It's just a temporary short term fix. But it'll work. So I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all done here. I'll do a few minutes and show you what it looks like back in the bike. Okay, all the filing's done on the basket here. And I'll show you guys what I did. You can see if you look closely, those edges now are a lot smoother than they were. Look at them there. You can see I didn't get all of the deep ones out because they're really deep in there, and I didn't want to file it down a lot because the clutch would just be really sloppy. But I got the majority of the burrs out of there. This is the drive side. This side is kind of the back side of the basket. I kind of took the high ridges off really quickly, but didn't do anything too major on that side. So that should make a big difference. So you can see the inside of the transmission area of the engine here. all you gotta do is rub some oil on the inside of the bearing here, which I've already done. Pop her back in. And just twist it till it meshes in the gears, and there you go. Now when you put a clutch back together, you want to put it in the exact reverse order that you took it apart. So, you know, you put the steels and the clutch plates in the same order they came out. So we'll start with this little washer here. I already have some oil on it. Put it on the spline shaft. It'll go on there. There it goes. And now, next you put the cage in here and just wipe it off. Got a little dirty there. Alright, looks good. Put that back on the splines, you know, get some oil on it. Should be okay. Put the lock washer on here, just like that. Nut goes back on. Now, there's a secret. When you're taking this nut off and you're loosening it, the secret is to have an impact wrench. If you don't have an impact wrench, the engine's going to turn when you try to undo this. Or sorry, the wheels are going to try to turn. So what I do is I put it in gear, and then I actuate the back brake, and that holds this. It locks it tight so I can get a wrench on there and undo it. So if you don't have an impact wrench, that's what you're going to want to do. So I'm going to stick this wrench on it here, and I'm going to get someone to help me quickly put the back brake on while I tighten this bolt here and get it torqued up to the proper spec. And after that, I'll assemble the rest of the clutch, put the steels and the discs back on, and I'll see you guys then. So clutch basket's all in, plates are in, pressure plate is on. Just slowly tightening the springs down here, my wrench. Get those tightened down and put this magnesium cover back on it there, and give her a test drive. One little secret I should tell you guys about is if you do this and you tip the bike on its side, you don't have to drain the oil. So, because all the oil will run into the side of the engine, so you can leave the oil in it and still rebuild your clutch, which is kind of nice. So, gives you a little option there in case you guys didn't know. So yeah, 5 minutes, we'll have her done, and that's basically it for my clutch rebuild here. Might make a video when I put the new basket on, but we'll see how this goes first. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright, all together, she runs good. On another note, I think it was time for a new tire, don't you? There's the old sucker. Look how rotten that was. New one there. Took me about 20 minutes to install that. Saved myself 60 bucks. Not too bad. But yeah, that old beater, she was pretty rotten. Anyhow, thanks for watching.